Praises to Allah, honors to His Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Islam Moors. This is your brother Sylvester Moore Eel, and many of you know me as Tex Masan, the trade name that I use for thctrust.org. The nature of this video, it deals with, I guess you would say, Moorish affairs. I don't do too many videos about Moorish related issues because they come with a lot of scrutiny, and I don't consider myself as any type of teacher in that area. I'm just a student. But I do have to address my brother Tarhaka Bey. I was on Moorish World TV, called in after some taunting from him last night, and just because, I felt that there had to be a voice of somebody to speak out to say, hey brother, what you talking about, you might not be correct. So let me get my stuff straight here. But my position was that brother Tarhaka is not authoritative and should not be teaching Moors, or should not be broadcasting across his platform that treaty does not apply to us. And if he does do it, he should be very clear to the fact that it's his opinion. He went on to tell me, I asked him, hey, is this your opinion? He wanted to suggest that it's facts. And you have to be very careful, because you might be speaking directly against what Noble Drew Ali had in store, or what he had foreseen, or what he planned. See, Noble Drew Ali made these two specific oral statements. At least one of them was an oral statement. The other is just in our Moorish literature that we have been taught and accept is true. And I know Tarhaka Bey won't contradict any of this. And this is why, I say he should be more cautious before he starts saying things that the treaty doesn't apply. I think part of this is because of whatever it is personally he has against Tariq Bey, although he would say it's not personal. But I think things like this kind of demonstrate that it is personal, because you will look beyond what's obvious right in front of you to find opposition with something that's being taught that's just like clearly is plain as day. So that's why I want to explain here. I want to humbly explain where I'm coming from. Another thing I want to say is everyone who knows me for the most part will tell you that I'm sincere. So brother Taharka, when you tried to go to my website and accuse me of having a hustle and all of this, you have it completely wrong. And I know that when you went to my website, the first video you seen was me telling people why they should join the Moorish Science Temple of America, and it wasn't what you expected. So you scrolled through looking for a couple of different videos trying to find something negative about me. And really, that's not really what should be going down. But at the end of the day, I don't really have to say much, because after this video, I think even your own people, I shouldn't say your own people, other Moorish Americans that kind of support your position, they will probably say, hey, look, the brother has some points and he's going to hold you accountable for that. So I do want you to respond or speak intelligently to these points I'm going to make in here. And it is this. The Treaty of Peace and Friendship, as you say, applies to Moroccans. And it applies to United States citizens, nationals, and even in that treaty they use the term Moor. Why do you think it was that Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, you are what your ancient forefathers were, without doubt or contradiction? I honestly think Noble Drew Ali said that because he knew that Moors like myself and Tarhaka would be having this discussion someday, and he wanted to provide clarity on this, and this is what these prophetic words were for. My question to Brother Tarhaka is, if Noble Drew Ali is telling us that we are what our ancient forefathers were without doubt or contradiction, how can we be Moorish American without being Moroccans? Because the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, I think you and I both agree, and I think we even said it on your show, that it applies to Moroccans. And it would be impossible for us to be Moorish Americans and not be Moroccans. Because a Moorish American by law is a Moroccan. Does the treaty apply to Moroccans? In the questions and answers, in our question and answers, question number 14 says, why are we Moorish Americans? And it says we are Moorish Americans because we are descendants of Moroccans born in America. So by saying the treaty applies to Moroccans but not Moorish Americans, but Moorish Americans are Moroccans, you're creating a contradiction. And Noble Drew Ali said, "You are what your ancient forefathers were without doubt or contradiction." Well, what does the law say about this, the descendant of Moroccans that are born in another country? Well, that's the law of citizenship and nationality, jus sanguinis, which is the law of you inheriting the birthright of your forefathers and your foremothers because of their nationality, not based off of your geographical location. Our first class citizenship is Moroccan. And it doesn't mean that we're not United States citizens, or we're not citizens of the United States of America. Excuse me. It does not mean that. There's a bunch of nationalities that have dual citizenship. But the thing is, we can't be ignorant and sit there and act like this ain't so because nobody hasn't told us. We have to, we have to step up to the plate. And I have to kind of step back because I shouldn't be so forceful with this, because I'm not trying to suggest that I have all the facts and that this is our treaty, but I'm definitely saying that my big brother Tarhaka Bey is not qualified to be out there saying that this is nonsense, that this is mess, and it does not apply to us. But no, in real talk, in closing, I'm going to say this, brother Tarhaka Bey. I wasn't just trolling your platform. I noticed the day before you had attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz on, and he was expressing to you the need for us to come together and to work on something on an international level. And you was saying how you'll be the more to come out there in the forefront, and I applaud you for that. However, attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz was using terms like self-determination and the end of colonialism. So he's dealing with bodies of international law, treaty-based law, customary law. So the way that you're handling or taking this position, throwing out the treaty, I don't even think that you consider that was even significant what you're doing. I don't even think I think you were just kind of randomly talking, not even really considering the implications of what you're saying if it's not correct. And I don't think you're 100% certain about what you're saying when you say that the treaty applies to Moroccans but it doesn't apply to Moorish Americans.